Good morning. Today's topic is vitamins. So what are vitamins? These are organic compounds required in very small but definite amounts for normal human growth and maintenance. So these are organic compounds and they do not yield energy but enables the body to use other nutrients. And since the body is generally unable to synthesize them, they must be provided by food. So vitamins are organic compound and they don't yield energy but enables the body to use other nutrients. So body cannot synthesize them. So they should be provided by food. So what are the categories? I think in biochemistry you already know this. Divided into fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. Vitamin A, D, E, K are fat soluble, and vitamins of B group and vitamin C is water soluble vitamins. And each vitamin has a specific function to perform, and deficiency of a particular vitamin may lead to specific deficiency. So each vitamin has specific function and has it specific deficiency diseases also. And for some vitamins, there is no deficiency, is also not known. So for example, vitamin E. And the minimum intake for the maintenance of the health in respect of many of the vitamins has been determined. But the optimum intake remains somewhat speculative. So for each vitamin will have a specific function. Next. So we will see one by one. So coming to vitamin A. So biological active compound is retinol. This is free vitamin. We can say free vitamin, retinol. Provitamin is carotenoids. That is beta carotene. So vitamin A occurs in two forms: retinol and beta carotene. And here, one international unit of vitamin A is equivalent to 0.3 microgram of retinol. And 1 micrograms of retinol is equivalent to 1 retinol equivalent. And 1 microgram of beta carotene is equivalent to 0.167 micrograms of RE, retinol equivalent. So if you see retinol, beta carotene and other carotenoids categorized under retinol equivalent. To remove the differences, so retinol equivalent is taking into consideration. So anything we have to consider retinol equivalent. So 1 retinol equivalent is equal to 3.33 international units of vitamin A. So what are the functions of the vitamin A? And so main function is vision. Production of the retinol pigment is needed for the vision in the dim light and for integrity and normal functioning of the epithelial and glandular tissue. And another function is it supports growth and it acts as antioxidant and it is anti-infective and it is anti-cancerous. So these are the functions of the vitamin A. So your main function you have to remember is retinol pigment, production of the retinol pigment for vision. So what are the sources of vitamin A? There are different sources. So here you see these are the animal sources, these are the plant source. So animal source, milk, eggs, meat, here green leafy vegetables, fruits. See. So it is widely distributed in animal and plant foods. So in animal foods, preformed vitamin A, that is retinol, will be present in animal foods. In plant foods, it is provitamins, that is carotene. So in animal food, it is retinol. From the plant foods, it is provitamins, that is beta carotene or carotenes. So see, from animal foods, which animal foods will provide vitamin A? Liver, eggs, butter, cheese, whole milk, fish and meat. And fish liver oil is richest natural source, but we are not using in food as main source. So it is we are using it like a supplement. So plant foods, which plant foods will provide vitamin A? Green leafy vegetables such as spinach and amarnath, which is most available in every season. Spinach and amarnath. And the darker the green leaves, the higher is the carotene content. And another source is green and yellow fruits and vegetables. Example, papaya, mango, and pumpkin. And some roots, example, carrots. So green leafy vegetables, green leaves, sorry, uh, green and yellow fruits and vegetables and roots. And the most important carotenoid is beta carotene, so which has the highest vitamin A activity, beta carotene. And carotenes are converted to vitamin A in the small intestine. So when they take, they should be converted to vitamin A. And the action is poorly accomplished in the malnourished children and those suffering from the diarrhea. Next, third source is fortified foods. So animal source, plant source, and another artificial source is food fortification with vitamin A. Example, which foods fortified with vitamin A? Example, vanaspati, margarine, and milk. So these are the sources of vitamin A. So retinol content of selected foods. So if you see, halibut liver oil contains more retinol. Cod liver oil, liver tox, butter, margarine, cheese, egg, milk, cow, fish, carrot, spinach, amarnath, green leaves, mango, papaya, orange, and tomato. Okay. Vitamin A deficiency. So, due to vitamin A deficiency, what are the manifestations? Usually, most occur manifestations are ocular manifestation and extraocular manifestations also there. So, important is ocular manifestation. So, what they include? Night blindness, conjunctival xerosis, bite dot spots, corneal xerosis, and keratomalacia. So all these will term known as xerophthalmia. So under this, these five things will come. So the term xerophthalmia comprises all the ocular manifestations of vitamin A deficiency ranging from the night blindness to keratomalacia. So what is the first clinical symptom of vitamin A deficiency? So night blindness is the first clinical symptom of the vitamin A deficiency. When come to sign, what is the first clinical sign of vitamin A deficiency? That is conjunctival xerosis. So these two, these two bits will be asked in NEET. So first clinical sign is conjunctival xerosis. First clinical symptom is night blindness. So don't confuse sign and symptom, they will ask. Next. So we will see one by one. Night blindness to keratomalacia. So what is night blindness? You all know when there is inability to dark adoption. So child cannot see. So it is due to impairment in the dark adoption. And unless vitamin A intake is increased, the condition may get worse, especially when children also suffer from the diarrhea and other infections. Why? Because absorption will be occur in the small intestine. So when there is diarrhea and other infection, so there is a poor absorption of the vitamin A. Night blindness. Next, conjunctival xerosis. Second one is conjunctival xerosis. So see here, this is the first clinical sign of vitamin A deficiency. And the conjunctiva become xerosis means dryness. So conjunctiva will become dry and non-wettable. And instead of looking smooth and shiny, it appears muddy and wrinkled. So it has been well described as emerging like sandbanks at the receding tide. It will be also asked in NEET examination. In which vitamin deficiency you will see emerging like sandbanks at the receding tide. That is vitamin A. So when child cry, it will be like emerging like sand appearance. Okay. So see how the conjunctival cirrhosis. See here, conjunctival cirrhosis. There is a dryness of the conjunctiva here. This is conjunctival cirrhosis. Next, Biotod spots. So Biotod spots are triangular, pearly white, or yellowish foamy spots on the bulbar conjunctiva on either side of the cornea. So Biotod spots. And these are frequently bilateral, usually bilateral. Biotod spots in the young children usually indicate vitamin A deficiency. If it occurs in older individuals, these spots are often inactive sequel of the earlier disease. So in children, it is due to vitamin A deficiency. In adults, it is due to sequel of the earlier disease. So you remember Biotod spots are triangular, pearly white, yellowish, foamy spots, and bulbar conjunctiva on either side of the cornea. See how Biotod spots. So triangular, pearly white. Right. Next. Next one is corneal cirrhosis. Complete dryness of the cornea. So when the corneal cirrhosis is, so person cannot see. And last one. So this stage is particularly very serious, and the cornea appears dull, dry, and non-vegetable, and eventually opaque. So see here, opacity. Next. And it does not have a moist appearance, and in more severe deficiency there may be a corneal ulceration also. The ulcer may heal, leaving a corneal scar which can affect the vision. See here, scar, dryness, opacity, so person cannot see. Next one is keratomalacia. See here, keratomalacia is liquefaction of the cornea, so which is a grave medical emergency. So the cornea may become soft and burst open. So this process is a very rapid one, and if the eye collapses, vision is lost. So see here, softening of the cornea, eye contents will come out. Next, corneal scar. So corneal scarring. Okay, those are from night blindness, conjunctival cirrhosis, Biotod spots, corneal cirrhosis, and keratomalacia. These are ocular manifestations. So there are some extraocular manifestations of the vitamin A. What are those? So these are follicular hyperkeratosis, anorexia, growth retardation, and the respiratory and intestinal infections leading to morbidity and mortality. So these are the extraocular manifestations of the vitamin A. So what we have to do for this, we should give some treatment. I will tell you. Okay. First of all, you please remember these things. Yeah. So these things will be asked in your NEET examination. So clearly observe this. So prevalence criteria for determining the xerophthalmia problem. So when you will detect, if the night blindness is there more than 1%, so they will consider there is a prevalence of the xerophthalmia problem. If Biotod spots are more than 0.5%, corneal cirrhosis is more than 0.01%, corneal ulcer more than 0.05%, and serum retinal more than 5%. So whenever so prevalence in the population at risk. So it is 6 months to 6 years in children. Okay, what we have to do after getting disease? So we have to give some treatment. What we should give? Administration of massive doses, that is 2 lakh international units of or 10 milligrams of the retinol pounded orally on the 2 successive days. All children with corneal ulcers should receive vitamin A, whether or not a deficiency is suspected. For treatment, we have to give 2 lakh international units. So this is treatment. So how we can prevent vitamin A deficiency? So it is included under national immunization schedules. For children, we are giving under NIS. So first of all, what we should do is improve the diet intake. First of all, they should take appropriate diet. Reducing the frequency and severity of the contributor factors. What are those? Protein allergy, malnutrition, ARI, diarrhea, and disease. So we have to reduce the severity. And prophylaxis against the nutritional blindness. How we can give prophylaxis? So you please remember these units. Children between 6 months to 1 year, we have to give 1 lakh international units. After that, 2 lakh international units of vitamin A orally every 6 months to the children up to the 1 to 5 years. So 1 to 5 years we are giving 2 lakh international units. So less than 1 year we are giving 1 lakh international units. So please remember this. So this will be asked in your examination. Next, what is recommended dietary allowance of the vitamin A? So for adults and infants and children. So adult male, female, it is 600 micrograms. Pregnancy it is 800. Lactation it is 950. Infants 350. Children up to 1 to 6 years 400 micrograms. And 7 to 12 years it is 600 micrograms. Okay. Next comes to vitamin D. So now we completed vitamin A. Vitamin D. So it occurs in two forms, vitamin D2 and D3. So D2 is ergocalciferol. Vitamin D3 is cholecalciferol. Usually vitamin D will be known as kidney hormone. What are the functions? It promotes intestinal absorption of the calcium and the phosphorus and stimulates normal mineralization of the bones and increases tubular reabsorption of the phosphate in the kidney and it permits normal growth. So these are the functions of the vitamin D. So what are the sources of vitamin D? Natural, that is from sun. When exposed to sun, cholesterol will convert it into vitamin D3. That's why it is known as cholecalciferol. What are the manifestations of the vitamin deficiency? First one is rickets. Second one is osteomalacia. So rickets is seen in children. Osteomalacia is adults. We will see what is rickets. Curved legs. Pigeon chest. So what will happen in children that is from 6 months to 2 years? So due to rickets, growth failure, bone deformity, that is curved legs, deformed pelvis, pigeon chest, Hansen sulcus, and rickety rosary and kyphoscoliosis, and muscular hypotonia, tetany, convulsions due to hypocalcemia, and delayed milestones. So these are the manifestations of the vitamin deficiency in children. In adults, it is osteomalacia. So what is osteomalacia? This is nothing but softening of the bones, especially in the pregnant and the lactating women. How will you prevent vitamin D deficiency? So parents should educate their children to sunshine regularly and periodic dosing of the young children with the vitamin D and fortification of the foods, especially milk with the vitamin D, and a daily supplement of the 400 international units is recommended for 1 to 2 year old children. So what is the supplementation here? 400 international units. Next comes to vitamin E. So vitamin E will be known as tocopherol. Eight naturally occurring forms of vitamin E are synthesized in the plants. But alpha tocopherol is biologically more potent among 8 forms. So alpha tocopherol. What are the richest sources? Vegetable oils, egg yolk, and butter are the richest source of vitamin E. So foods rich in polyunsaturated fatty acids are also rich in the vitamin E. So what are the functions of the vitamin E? Antioxidant properties and protects from the free radicals and maintain integrity of the cell membrane. And role in DNA and the prostaglandin synthesis. So these are the functions of the vitamin E. Vitamin E deficiency. So it is known as 5 deficiency, means familial isolated vitamin E deficiency. What is recommended daily allowance? That is 12 milligrams of per day. Next, A, D, E, K. Vitamin K. There are two forms, vitamin K1 and K2. So vitamin K1 is phylloquinine. So it is found mainly in fresh green vegetables. Vitamin K2, that is minaquinone. So it is synthesized by the intestinal bacteria. Phylloquine, minaquinone. So what are the functions of the vitamin K? Clotting of the blood and the calcium metabolism. So that's why we are giving newborns vitamin K injection after the birth. Deficiency. Due to vitamin K deficiency, prothrombin content is decreased and the blood clotting time is increased. Time is considerably prolonged. So anticoagulant will use anticoagulants such as warfarin and dicumarol. In neonates, so for newborns, we'll give single intramuscular dose of 0.5 mg of the vitamin K at birth as prophylaxis. What is RDA? For males it is 120, for females it is 90. So by this we completed fat soluble vitamins. Okay, those are vitamin A, D, E, K. Now we'll come to vitamin B group. Vitamin B1 is known as thiamine. So what are the sources of the vitamin B1? Whole grains, meat, fish, and in some countries, so bread also fortified with the vitamin B1. What are the functions of the vitamin B1? Oxidative decarboxylation of the pyruvic acid and the transketolase reaction in hexose monophosphate shunt, and normal cardiac and GIT functions. So due to deficiency of the vitamin B1, beriberi, there are two forms, two types, dry beriberi and wet beriberi. Dry beriberi is peripheral neuritis, wet beriberi is cardiac beriberi. And third form is infantile beriberi, which is seen in infants between 2 and 4 months if the diet of the mother is deficient in the thiamine. So, So this is thiamine deficiency. Paresthesia, dyspnea, orthopnea, edema, beriberi, and Wernicke syndrome. It is confusion, coma, and death, and dilatation of the right heart valve. Wrist drop, great weakness. Aphonia may appear, poor prognosis. Vagus nerve involved. When vagus nerve is involved, aphonia. It is dry, very. Emaciation. So these are the manifestations due to thiamine deficiency. So due to chronic alcoholism, so there will be thiamine deficiency and brain tissue ischemia and cell death. So it will lead to Wernicke's encephalopathy, so which will come acute confusional state, ophthalmoplegia and ataxia. And next, Korsakoff syndrome, amnesia, confabulation and psychosis. So it is dry beriberi, foot drop and a wrist drop. So due to peripheral neuritis, edema, it is wet beriberi. Next, how? So nowadays, most of the people are using most polished rice, so which is not good because vitamin B1 is lacking in the polished rice. So we have to educate the people to eat well balanced mixed diet containing thiamine rich foods like hard boiled and undermilled rice. So so they should stop alcohol. So so by taking alcohol, it is leading to B1 deficiency and supplementation to high risk groups. RDA is 0.5 milligrams per 1000 kilocalories of energy intake. Next, riboflavin, vitamin B2 functions. So it is so what are the sources of riboflavin? Cereals, nuts, milk, eggs, green leafy vegetables, and lean meat, and in sprouts. Functions. What are the functions of B2? Cellular oxidation and cofactor in energy metabolism and maintains the integrity of the mucocutaneous structures, and it is an antioxidant and metabolism of the other vitamins. So these are the functions of the vitamin B2. So vitamin B2 deficiency. So what are the manifestations? Angular stomatitis is an index of the state of nutrition in groups of children. Usually I see angular stomatitis in children like this. And Ankylosis, glossitis, nasolabial dysphasia, Are you able to hear me? Okay. Niacin deficiency, it is diarrhea, dermatitis, and dementia. In addition, glossitis and stomatitis usually occur. So this is pellagra. So recommended daily allowance is 6 milligrams per 1000 kilocalories of energy. So this is vitamin 3 deficiency. And pantothenic acid. So specific role in the biosynthesis of the corticosteroids. So daily requirement is 10 milligrams. So pyridoxine, that is B6, vitamin B6. So there are three forms: pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine. So deficiency will cause peripheral neuritis. And recommended daily allowance is in children is 2 milligram per day. So in adults 2 milligram per day. In pregnancy and lactation 2.5 milligrams per day. So next comes to folate or folic acid, vitamin B9, which will be known as. And what are the functions of the folate? Essential for the formation of the red blood cells and the cell division, and role in synthesis of the nucleic acids are chromosomes. And it is essential for the fetal development. That's why during pregnancy we are advised to take folic acid. So usually we'll call it as folate. So deficiency will cause, so which is common in pregnancy and lactation, and folate deficiency will cause megaloblastic anemia, glossitis, ileosis, gastrointestinal disturbances, diarrhea, distension, and flatulence. Poor pregnancy outcomes and birth defects. So neural tube defects will be occur due to folate deficiency, and altered methylation of the DNA, which will increase the cancer risk. Elevated blood levels of the homocysteine. Next. So what is recommended daily allowance? For adults 200 micrograms, pregnancy 500 micrograms. When you are taking iron tablet, iron plus folic acid supplementation, IFA tablet. So iron is 100 micrograms and 500 micrograms of the folic acid will be given. And lactation, during lactation 300 micrograms. For children 80 to 20 micrograms. So vitamin B12. Last vitamin B, last vitamin in the B group of vitamins. So which is eggs, fish, meat. So present only in animal foods. Mecobalamin is only available in animal foods. So it cooperates with the folate in the synthesis of the DNA and synthesis of the fatty acids in the myelin. Deficiency. So strict vegetarians are at risk because they won't eat and animal foods. And pernicious anemia, a type of megaloblastic anemia. So due to deficiency, megaloblastic anemia will occur. And demyelinated neurological manifestations in the spinal cord. And infertility. Next. So recommended daily allowance. Adults it is 1 micrograms and pregnancy 1.2, lactation 1.5, infants and children 0.2 micrograms. Last vitamin under vitamin groups. Vitamin C. This is most sensitive to heat. So as you see, what are the sources of the vitamin C? Citrus fruits, especially from amla. Amla is richest source of vitamin C. And some fruits like guava. Most okay. What are the functions of the vitamin C? It is a potent antioxidant, collagen, and it is having a function in the collagen formation. Why? Because 20% of the our body needs collagen, and in blood vessels also collagen is there. So it facilitates the absorption of the iron from the vegetable foods. So whenever there is a iron deficiency anemia, along with the iron, we should give vitamin C supplementation. Sources. What are the sources? Fresh fruit, green leafy vegetables, amla, guava are the richest sources. So what? Due to vitamin C deficiency, scurvy, swollen and bleeding gums like this, and subcutaneous bruising and bleeding into skin or joints, and delayed wound healing, anemia and the weakness. So why anemia? So it increases the absorption of the iron. Whenever there is a poor absorption, it will lead into anemia. And adults 40 milligrams per day. Thank you.
Bank to Bank of Baroda is